First, I like to introduce myself. I'm Novita and I will host you for today's event. Now, let me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso as a Rector of STEKOM University, Indonesia, to the Honorable Dr. Ravneet Kaur as Associate Professor, Computer Science and Engineering from Kadiga Groups College, India, to the Honorable Dr. Emily Grace Chiumia Mail as a Vice Chancellor from Nkhoma University, Malawi, to the Honorable Miss Sakthipriyaa as Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, to the Honorable Mr. Migunani Hidava as a Head Information System Department, and last but not least, also to the Honorable guests and audience today. Okay, before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being streamed on the Universitas Tekom YouTube channel. And for today's event, we will start with Indonesia national anthems. In the next session, we will begin the main event presentation by our special guest for today. And continue with the Q&A section. Take a picture for documentation and last time is closing. Okay, first we will sing our national anthems for the Mr. Abdullah. You can start the session today. Thank you. Okay, thank you. And now, let please welcome our first presenter for Mr. Migunani from STEKOM University, Indonesia. The time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Novita. Is my presentation first? Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Migunani, and today I'm here to talk about something that is increasingly critical to all of us, cybersecurity essential. Our title today is Protecting Data in a Connected World, a topic relevant to both our professional and personal lives. Our goal today is to build the foundational knowledge to defend against evolving cyber threats and ensure our data privacy. Let's look at the scale of the problem. To begin, let's map the digital battlefield we currently navigate. The cybersecurity landscape is no longer a niche corner of the tech world. It has evolved into a fundamental and rapidly expanding arena that underpins our global society. The scale of the digital ecosystem, a fertile ground for opportunity and threat. In 2023, there were over 4.9 billion internet users worldwide. This massive user base creates an interconnected digital ecosystem that transcends geographical boundary and time zones, serving as the backbone of the global economy, social communication, and critical infrastructure. The sheer volume of user is not just about connection, it's about the creation, value, and data. Every click, transaction, and interaction generates valuable data, making it a primary commodity for business and unfortunately a lucrative target for cybercriminals. In essence, where value is concentrated, threats will inevitably follow. The staggering financial cost, the price of complacency, where the crowd this is risk. The global cost of cybercrime was estimated at a staggering 8 trillion in 2023. This figure is astronomical on its own, but its projected growth is even more alarming. It is expected to reach 10.5 trillion by 2025. To put this into perspective, 10.5 trillion is equivalent to the combined gross domestic product or GDP of major economies like Japan and Germany. This is no longer just an issue of finance or teach company. It is a threat to global economic stability. The costs include not only direct losses from data theft, but the expenses of system recovery, regulatory fines, lost productivity, and long-term reputational damage. The human factor, the weak link and the first line of defense. Perhaps the most shocking statistic is that 95 of data breaches are caused by human error. Yes, nearly all incidents can be traced back to our action, whether unintentional or due to a lack of awareness. This can range from clicking a phishing link and using weak password to accidentally sharing sensitive information. This statistic fundamentally shifts the cybersecurity paradigm. Security is no longer solely the responsibility of the IT department. It is the responsibility of every individual within an organization. This underscores the critical need to build the strong security culture where every employee is trained and empowered to become an active human firewall. Investment in advanced technology is crucially if its users are vulnerable to simple social engineering tactics. Evolving technology expanding the attack surface. This challenge compounded by emerging technology like Internet of Things, cloud computing, and the remote work trend. Every connected IoT device, every cloud service adopted, and every employee working from unsecure home network effectively within the attack surface for malicious actor. This change have blurred the security parameter. In the past, security focused on protecting the corporate office network. Now, with remote work, that perimeter has dissolved, and employees working home from home who click and malicious email can open a backdoor directly into the company cloud infrastructure. IoT adds another layer of complexity. Billions of devices with often minimal security, which can be hijacked and used to form massive botnets. Multifaceted consequence beyond financial loss. The impact of a cyber attack extend far beyond financial loss. The consequences are multifaceted and devastating. Reputational damage. The loss of customer trust can be more catastrophic than the immediate financial loss and can take years to. The second one is legal penalties. Data protection regulations are becoming increasingly strict, such as GDPR in Europe and personal data protection law in Indonesia. Violation can result in massive fines. Threat to national security. Cyber attack on critical infrastructure such as power grids, financial system, or healthcare services can disrupt societal stability and even endanger lives. So, what do we do about it? Faced with this complex threat landscape, passivity is not an option. We must proactively equip ourselves with the right knowledge and skill. The goal is not merely to be aware, but to master the art of a digital defense. This is a journey toward building cyber resilience that starts with every single individual. To achieve this, we need to adopt a multi-layer approach that combine foundational knowledge, proactive vigilance, and culture transformation. The first step is to understand the core principle of cybersecurity. Without a strong foundation and strategy, we build will be vulnerable. Discuss beyond memorizing terminology. It's about comprehension. Its principle is critical. Once we have a foundation, we must train our sense to recognize danger. We need to be able to identify common threats and system vulnerabilities before attacker can exploit them. This means shifting from a passive defense tool to one of active vigilance. This skill highly practical. It means being able to spot of phishing from subtle clues like poor grammar or a sense of urgency. It means understanding that unpatched software is in open malware. And then social engineering often praise of human psychology, like curiosity of fear to be bypass technical defense. Applying a proactive shield, effective protection strategy. Knowledge without action is useless. The next step is to apply effective protection strategy to safeguard our data and system proactively. This is about building the shield before the arrow fly, not after. This strategy involves a combination of technical control and behavioral habits. Technically, it means using strong, unique password, enable two-factor authentication, and performing regular software updates. Behaviorally, it means verifying link before clicking, avoiding public Wi-Fi for a sensitive transaction, and consciously protecting our personal information. Cultivating a security culture, the transformation into an intrinsic value. Most importantly, we must foster a security culture, but organizationally and individually. This is the pinnacle of the cybersecurity approach, where awareness is no longer policy, to be remembered, but value to be alive. A security culture is a crucial transformation of security from a mere policy into a core organizational value. In an organization, this means every employee, from the CIO to the intern, feel a personal sense of responsibility for security. It creates an environment where people feel comfortable reporting minor incidents without fear of blame, knowing that their proactive action prevent a larger disaster in safe from IT job to everyone job. Okay, let's start with the most basic fundamental. The basic fundamental is the CIA triad, the three foundational pillars of cybersecurity. If you are new to the field of cybersecurity, there is one core concept you must understand as the absolute foundation. We call it the CIA triad. CIA is an acronym for the three core principes that guide our resilient and effective cybersecurity strategies. Together, they work in concert to protect the digital asset in a comprehensive manner. The first C. C is for confidentiality. The first pillar is confidentiality, which ensure the sensitive information is accessible only to authorized individuals. This is the essence of privacy in the digital world. Confidentiality protects a wide range of critical data from personally identifiable information like name and address to highly sensitive data such as trade secret, financial record, or patient medical history. A failure of confidentiality can have several consequences, ranging from identity theft and significant financial loss for individual to destruction of reputation and competitive advantage for a company. We enforce this through technology like encryption, scrambling data into an unreadable code, and strict access control like a password, multi-factor authentication, or user permission. And second one is I is a very is for integrity. The second pillar is integrity, which guarantees that information remain accurate, complete, and trustworthy throughout its life cycle. This means the data has not been altered, delayed, or corrupted in unauthorized manner. Imagine the impact of your bank account balance suddenly change without reason, or if a patient medical record at a hospital was accidentally modified. A failure of integrity can lead the flawed business decision, fatal medical diagnosis, or a total loss of customer trust. To maintain integrity, we rely not only on encryption, but also on mechanism like a checksum to verify that data hasn't changed during transmission, and digital signature to confirm the sender is legitimate and the data has not been tampered with since it was sent. And the third one is A. A is for availability. We assure that our system and data remain accessible to authorized users whenever they are needed. This concept is crucial for business continuity and public services. How confidential accurate data is, it becomes useless if it cannot be accessed when required. Prolonged downtime can halt production, disrupt customer service, and result in massive financial losses. A primary threat to availability is a denial of service or DOS attack, which overwhelms a system with peak traffic until it collapses. The ensure availability, organization implement a strategy like redundancy, having backup component, regular data backup, and failover system that automatically switch to backup system if the primary one fails. Okay, besides the CIA, we need to be on the same page with terminology. To ensure well speaking the same language when discussing cybersecurity, it's crucial to clarify a few key terms. Understanding this concept is more than just expanding your vocabulary. It empowers us to recognize, analyze, and communicate effectively about the various dangers in the digital world. Let's break them down in a logical sequence that illustrate how a security incident can occur. The first one is vulnerability. Vulnerability in the weak spot in your defense. It all starts with a vulnerability. This is a weakness, gap, or deficiency in our security system, which could be a software, hardware, or even human processes that can be exploited by an authorized party. Vulnerable are always about complex code. They can be as simple as a weak password, unpatched or outdated software, forgetting to apply a security patch, a lack of physical security for a server, or an untrained employee who is susceptible to manipulation. Every vulnerability is an unlocked door waiting to be tested. The second one is threat. Threat is the potential danger lurking. Next, we have a threat. This is the potential danger that can take advantage of a vulnerability. A threat can be an anchor, like a hacker, cybercriminal, and malicious insider, or an event like a denial of service attack or a self-propagating malware. It is vital to distinguish between threat and vulnerability. A piece of software with a vulnerability, for example, a bug, is not dangerous on its own if not a threat is trying to exploit. Conversely, a hacker, a threat, cannot get in if there is no gap or no vulnerability to penetrate. Is the who or what that wants to do us harm. And the third one, sorry, is attack vector pathway for the intruder. When the threat meets a vulnerability, they cannot through attack vector. This is the specified method or pathway an attacker use to gain unauthorized access to a system is the how the threat exploit the vulnerability. The attack vector is the attacker weapon of choice. Example are diverse, ranging from a phishing email that trick an employee into clicking a malicious link, exploiting a human vulnerability, to leveraging an unsecure public Wi-Fi network. This is exploiting a technical vulnerability or inserting malware onto USB drive left in a public place. Understanding attack vector help us focus our defense on the most likely path of intrusion. And the fourth one is the risk. Risk is the consequence of the chain of events. This is the potential for loss or damage when threat successfully exploit a vulnerability through an attacker factor. Simply put, risk is the likelihood of the threat succeeding are multiplied by the impact of the resulting harm. This is why all the preceding concepts are important. The ultimate goal of cybersecurity is not to eliminate all threats or patch every vulnerability, which is nearly impossible, but to manage risk to an acceptable level. For example, we know there is a threat of a hacker trying to steal data via a phishing email attack vector. If we have an untrained employee vulnerability, the risk of the data breach is very high. By training employee, we reduce the vulnerability very significantly, lowering the risk, even though the threat and attack vector still exist. Remember that 95% figure. Let's dive into that. We return again to the human factor, but it's here that the paradox of cybersecurity lies. The human element is the most vulnerable link in our defense, yet it is also the strongest fortress we can build. No matter how sophisticated the technology, it is ultimately operated by humans who are fallible. Let's dissect the anatomy of risk originating from the human side. The first one is social engineering, the art of psychological manipulation. This is the art of human hacking. Attackers understand the manipulating a person's psychology is often easier and more effective than reaching sophisticated technical defense. They exploit trust, fear, curiosity, or sense of urgency to deceive into vulnerability, divulging sensitive information, or performing action that compromise security. And the second is insider threat. This is the danger from within. This threat originates from within an organization, from individual, be they employee, contractor, or business partner, who already have legitimate access to system and data. This threat is particularly dangerous because these individuals have ultimate knowledge of the company internal working. Insider threat can be categorized into two types. The second one, malicious, is an individual who intentionally seek to harm the company, possibly for financial gain or the behest of an outside party. And the second one is accidental. This is far more common. An employee who inadvertently clicks a phishing link, save a work file to an insecure personal laptop, or loses a company device, even without the malicious intent, the damage can be just as severe. Because there is no malicious intent, this type of threat is also much harder to detect. And the cognitive and behavioral vulnerability, there is innate human weaknesses. This is the root of the problem. This vulnerability is a symbol of the threat awareness. The tendency to ignore security warning because they are perceived as an unusuals, or feeling pressured by a sense of urgency fabricated by an attacker. Our brain are wired for efficiency, not for security. We tend to trust authority. We forget complex passwords, and we make a mistake when we are tired or rushed. Security fatigue is a real phenomenon where users become overwhelmed by too many rules and warnings. leading them to become disengaged and ignore them. This is a fundamental weaknesses that must be addressed with user-friendly system design and continuous training. The solution: building a resilient human portrait. To overcome this challenge, we need a holistic and sustainable approach. The solution is not merely a set of policy, but a cultural transformation. The first one is comprehensive education. This is the foundation. Every individual must understand why security is important and how it works. This isn't just an annual presentation, it's ongoing, relevant, and interactive training. And the second one is awareness program. Education must be reinforced with continuous awareness program. This can include regional phishing simulation, periodic reminders, poster, communication that make security a daily topic of conversation. And the third one is fostering a security culture. This is the ultimate goal. A culture is achieved when every person, from the CAO to the intern, feel a personal sense of responsibility for security. It's an environment where people feel comfortable reporting incident without fear of blame, where security is viewed as part of the job, not an obstacle. It is transformation from obligation to value. Okay, now let's meet the monster in the digital world, the attacker arsenal. There is a deeper look into malware. Let's get a bit more technical and explore the attacker arsenal. The attacker arsenal is malware, short for malicious software. This is, uh, this is not a single weapon, but an entire arsenal of various malicious programs. It's designed for a specific purpose. Understanding these different types is a crucial step in building the right defense. The first one is viruses. Viruses in the self-replicating intruder. Through their biological namesakes, computer viruses are malicious code that propagate by attaching themselves to legitimate program or files. A virus cannot active or spread on its own. It requires human action, such as running an infected file to replicate and infect other systems. The key difference between a virus and a malware, like a worm, it is a reliance on human interaction to spread. This means viruses often travel through infected USB drive, email attachment, or file downloaded from a trustworthy sources. Their impact can range from being merely annoying, displaying a string message, to being highly destructive or deleting critical file. And the second one is ransomware. Ransomware is the digital kidnapper. This is the type of malware that frequently makes headline. Ransomware work by encrypting all the file and data on a victim computer, rendering them inaccessible. And then the attacker demands a ransom or money in a cryptocurrency in exchange for the decryption key. The most famous example is WannaCry, which crippled hospital, business, and government against worldwide in 2017. Ransomware is more than just encryption. It is a highly effective criminal business model. A more sinister evolution is the double extortion tactic, where attackers not only encrypt the data but also steal of the beforehand. If the victim refuses to pay the ransom, the attacker threatens to leak the stolen data publicity, adding the pressure of the reputational damage to the mix. And the third one is a spyware. Spyware is the silent spy in your system. True to its name, spyware is software that covertly runs in the background to steal sensitive information. Its goal is to harvest data without the user knowledge. This can include a keylogger to capture password, a stealer that gather browser data to access browsing history, or software that collect user personal information. The greatest danger of spyware is its stealthy nature. A victim might not know their data is being siphoned off for months or even years. The stolen information, such as login credential, credit card detail, or corporate trade secrets, can then be used for identity theft, financial fraud, or sold on the dark web. The fourth one is a Trojan. Trojan in the modern day Trojan horse. Much like the legendary Trojan horse, this malware disguises itself as legitimate and useful software, like a game, a system update, or a utility application, to trick the user into willingly installing it. However, once installed, a Trojan infiltrates the system and creates a backdoor for the attacker. The ultimate impact, more than just data loss, financial damage like both direct theft of funds and indirect recovery costs, ransom payment, and regulatory fines. And the second is operational paralysis, as especially from ransomware, when a business cannot operate because its system and data are locked down. And privacy reputational catastrophe. The leak of customer data or a trade secret can destroy public trust and permanently damage a company reputation. Let's focus on the threat you are most likely to face. Let's truly dissect one the most dangerous and prevalent tactic in cybersecurity, phishing and social engineering. This isn't not a technical attack that pieces firewall or brick encryption. It is a psychological attack that target our weakest link, the human element. This is why this technique is the master key for attacker, capable of opening any door, no matter how strong the technical defense. The first one is standard phishing. This is a casting a wide net. This is the most basic form. Standardizing is like casting a massive net into the ocean, hoping to catch many fish as possible. Attackers send out mass email or message designed to look like they're coming from a legitimate institution like a bank, a shipping company, or a streaming services. The date of a fake emergency, your account will be closed and offer the that's too good to be true. You have won a prize or an urgent verification request. The goal is a single-minded to trick you into clicking a malicious link, opening attachment with malware, or entering your personal information like a password, credit card detail on a fake website. And the second one is spear phishing. This is a deadly targeted attack. If standard phishing as a net, the spear phishing is a sniper rifle. This attack far more dangerous because it's highly personalized and specifically targeted at an individual and organization. Attackers do their homework first, gathering information from social media or company website to craft a convincing message. And the third one is expanding the battlefield. This is phishing and slicing. Attackers are limited to email. They use any communication channel you use. Phishing or voice phishing, attack over the phone. An attacker might pretend to be from your bank or a tax agency and try to phish for information by creating a sense of panic or authority. And smithing is SMS phishing. There is a text via text message. They often contain short-term like links and urgent messages like your package has an issue. Click here to reschedule delivery on a small mobile screen. It's harder to verify the legitimacy of a link. What is the solution? The solution is building a human firewall. Fighting this physiological threat requires a physiological approach. We must build a resilient human firewall. Slow down, be more vigilant. Attackers create urgency use to make us the think fast and ignore our suspicions. The first and most important step is to pause. Don't rush to respond to an urgent message or email. And the second one, verify, don't trust. Never click a link or download an attachment from an unsolicited email. If you get an email from your bank, don't use the link in the email. Open a browser manually, type the bank website address, and log in from there. If you receive a suspicious call, hang up and call the company official number. Spot the red flags. Train UI to see anomaly. Generic greeting. Dear valued customer instead of your name. Poor program and spelling. Suspicious URLs. However, you open the link without clicking to see the actual web addresses in the under your browser. Suspicious URL and unusual request. A legitimate bank or a government agency will never ask for your password or sensitive information via email or via your phone. Besides targeting people, attacker also target systems, attacking the foundation, threats at the network and a system level. Beyond targeting human, attacker also launch highly sophisticated strike directly against our technical infrastructure, the network and system themselves. These are attacks that don't manipulate technology, but instead exploit fundamental weaknesses in how our system are connected and operate. The first one is DDoS, distributed denial of service. This is flooding the gates. This attack work like a flooding store with fake software, preventing any real customer from getting in. Technically, an attacker used a network of a compromised computer called a botnet to send a massive volume of traffic to server or website. The server become overwhelmed trying to handle all these fake requests, ultimately crashes and cause the service to become unavailable to legitimate user. The second one is a man in the middle attack. This is eavesdropping on the conversation. Imagine the attacker secretly eavesdropping on the conversation between you. This what happened in man in the middle attack. The attacker position themselves between the two communicating parties, secretly accepting and possibly even altering the data being exchanged. This method is often exploited and unsecured public Wi-Fi network where traffic is not encrypted. And the third one is the zero-day exploit. This is breaching non-existent defense. This is the nightmare scenario for a security team. A zero day is an attack that exploits a software vulnerability that's unknown the software developer because the vulnerability is a 0 day newly discovered. No patch or fix is yet available. Okay. Well, we know the truth. Now, what can we do? This is a practical part. The answer to protecting yourself in the truth-filled digital world lies in a personal cybersecurity hygiene. Think of it brushing your teeth or washing your hands in the digital realm. These are small habits that, when practiced consistently, have a massive impact on maintaining security. This is not just a checklist. It's about building your personal fortress of defense. Let's break down the foundation of the fortress into several key pillars. The first pillar is securing your digital identity or authentication for this. This is the main gate to your digital world. If this gate is weak, it doesn't matter how strong the rest of your defense are. Use strong password, unpredictable password. The old rule of the mix of letter and number is no longer sufficient. The modern criteria for a stronger password is the length, a minimal 12 until 16 character. Length is the primary defense against brute force attacks. And the second is complexity. Combine uppercase letter, lowercase letter, number, and symbol. And unpredictability. Avoid personal information like birthdays, pet names, or dictionary words, and additional insight. Instead of the random, hard to remember password, consider using passphrase. For example, elephant still stand on grass in 2024. Its length makes it incredibly strong, while its logical structure makes it easier for you to remember. And the second one is never reuse password. Never reuse password. This is the most critical mistake many people make. Using the same password for your email, banking, and social media is like giving one master key to open your house, car, and safe. If one account is a disease, all your other account will fall like dominoes. And the third one is use a password manager. The logical question is, how am I supposed to remember all those unique complex passwords? The answer is don't. Let a reputable password manage like a Bitwarden, one password, or KeePass do it for you. And the fourth one is active mode authentication or MFA. This is the single most important layer of defense you must enable wherever availability or available for email and banking. MFA adds a second verification step after you enter your password. It's based on the principle of the something you know, your password plus something you have, a code from an app, a physical token, or your fingerprint. And the second pillar is your device and data. Maintain device security, your device like a laptop or phone or the physical gateway to your. Make sure the gateway is locked. The first one, system update. Always install update for your operating system like Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android, and other software soon as possible. This update often contains security patch for newly discovered vulnerabilities. And the second one is in antivirus software. Use a reputable antivirus or anti-malware solution to detect block threats trying to get onto your device. And the third one is additional insight. Delaying update is like leaving a crack in your fortress for will open. Attacker actively exploit vulnerabilities that have fixed in update, so ignoring them is an unnecessary risk. And the sixth one is enable encryption. This feature, like a BitLocker on Windows File Vault and Mac OS, scramble all data on your hard drive, making unreadable without your personal or description key if you have. Additional insight, this protection is critical if your device is lost or stolen. Without encryption, thief could simply remove a hard drive and connect to another computer to access all your files. With encryption, your data become as useless gibberish to them, turning potential data catastrophe into mere hardware loss. Okay, finally, there are many essential results to strengthen to your device. Use a tool, use password manager like Bitwarden or security scanner like Nmap and WebSAR. And second one is learning. Take advantage of course and Coursera or certification from Cybersecurity and stay up to date with intelligence to remain informed. Okay, that conclude our view of the cybersecurity essential. Remember, cybersecurity is not a product you can buy. It's a process and culture we must build together. Thank you for your time and attention. I would to happy to open the floor for any question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation, Mr. Migunani. And we have three questions from participant already read in the Zoom chat. Sure. Yeah. Just a moment. Yeah. Hello, Mister. Uh, your microphone still turned off. Yeah. For first question, what are the biggest vulnerability that individual often overlook when using digital platform every day? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. The first one question is, what are the biggest vulnerability that individual often overlook when using digital platform every day? Okay. The first one is vulnerability. We freely give away this personal information that seem harmless on their own, but are incredibly powerful when aggregated. Where it's overlooked, social media quizzes. What city should you live in? Online shopping form and app permission feel like a normal part of the digital experience. We don't connect dots between sharing our mother maiden name on a family tree set in the part of the common security question. The real world risk, the first one, engineering. Attacker use your public post, your pet name, your high school, or your first car, or your first motor. The craft highly convincing phishing email or the answer your security question and reset your password. Profiling and targeting scam. Company and scammer build a detailed profile about you to sell your thing or target your sophisticated scam tailored to your interest and life event. How to fix it? Think before you post, before sharing a photo or a fun fact. Ask yourself, could this be used the guess password, a security question, or impersonate me? And the second one, lock down your social media, set your profile to private, regularly review what apps and website have access to your social media account and revoke permission you no longer use. And the third one is lie on a security question. For a security question, you use a fake answer that only you know. For example, what was Coach pet's name? You could use a complex, unrelated password like a correct horse better staple. And that's not one name. And the second one is password fatigue and reuse. The vulnerability using the same or similar password across multiple accounts because easier to remember. The average person has tens, if not hundreds, of online accounts, creating the remember a unique complex password for each one feel impossible. This is known as a password fatigue. The real world is credential stuffing. This is an automated attack where hacker to take a list of username and password stolen from one data breach, and the major site like Google, Facebook, and Amazon. If you reuse your password, they get in. How to fix it? Use password manager like my explanation before. This is the single most effective solution. A password manager create a store and fills in strong, unique password for all sites. You only have the remember one master password and enable multi-factor authentication. Even if a hacker steals your password, use MFA, a code from your phone, and authenticator app like a Google Authenticator or a physical key will stop them from logging in. And the three is it won't happen to me. Yes, with backup. The vulnerability is not regularly backing up important data like a photo, document, financial record, and password. Setting up a backup system feel like a call. We don't think about our data until it's gone. It's a classic case of out of sight or out of mind. The real world risk is ransomware. Ransomware attack can encrypt all your files, making them completely inaccessible. Without a backup, you only option have to pay the criminal with no guarantee you will get your data back or lose it forever. And the second one is hardware failure. Hard drive and fail. It's not a matter of if, but when. How to fix? Adopt the 3-2-1 rule. Keep 3 copies of your data. Second, different type of media and 1 copy of site. For example, your computer copy 1 and external hard drive is a copy second or second copy and cloud backup service like Blackberry, Google Drive is 3 copies. Example 2, your computer is a copy 1 and a cloud service like a Google Drive or Dropbox is copy 2 and copy 3. And the fourth one is ignoring the small stuff, app permission and public Wi-Fi, like my explained before. Blindly accepting default app permission and using unsecure public Wi-Fi for sensitive activity. When you install a new game, it asks for access to your contra location and microphone. You just up allow to get to the game. It feels like a necessary hurdle. And on the public Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or iPod is convenient. We don't think about the security of the network itself. The real world risk, like data siphoning, a simple flashlight app doesn't need access to your contact. Granting it allows the app developer to collect and sell your personal data. And the second one is man in the middle attack. On unsecure network, a hacker can position themselves between your and internet, intercepting your traffic and stealing login credential, your credit card number, and private messages. How to fix it? Audit app permission. Go into your phone setting, review what permission each app has. Turn off anything that isn't essential for the app to function, like turn off location access for a calculator app. Use your calculator app, but use turn on location access. This is uh, turn off your location access. Use a VPN and public Wi-Fi. A virtual private network encrypt all your internet traffic. This is very useful, making it unreadable to anyone snooping on the network. And the five is the urgency and authority threat. The vulnerability is falling for phishing or smishing, like SMS phishing, that create a sense of urgency or impersonate an authority figure. Our brain are wired to respond the urgency and authority. An email that says your account has been suspended, click here immediately to restore it. Bypass our critical thinking. In the real world risk is account takeover. You click the link, go to a fake login page, and hand over your username and password directly to the attacker. Or financial loss. You get a text from your bank about a suspicious transaction, are prompted to call a number of click link to resolve, leading you to a scammer who drains your account. Slow down. Scammer rely on you to act quickly. Take a breath before clicking. Independently, if you get a suspicious message from your bank, a delivery service, or your boss, do not use the link or contact info in the message. Instead, go directly to the official website or app, or use a phone number you know is legitimate to check the status of the message. Okay, this is for question for answer for question one. Maybe can answer for the question two or next presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much for your answer, Professor Mr. Migun. Yeah, thank you so much. And we will go to the
Okay,
second
thank you,
speaker.
Nafita.
Yeah,
Okay.
for Dr. Ravneet Kaur, the time is yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon and thank you. Thank you for joining this session. Today, we are going to talk about something that affects all of us. Whether we are students, we are professionals, business owners, educators, or smartphone users. We live in a world we live in a time where our entire lives, banking, communication, health records, personal memories are all digitized. But with the convenience, there comes a risk. So we must know about the risk factors. Today, our simple goal is to help to understand how cyber threats work and how you can protect yourself from all of these. Okay. Now, what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is basically essentially the practice of protecting our device, number two, our network, and number three, our data that can be digitally hacked. Looking into this, as this time is of internet and we all are connected with an internet, right? So we usually follow three main principles, which are basically the pillars of the cybersecurity. One is called CIA trait, that is given by NISP. So looking into this, C means confidentiality, I means integrity, and A means availability. Let's have an example over here. For example, think about it. If you are in the bank or you're using a bank website to transfer your amount from one place to another, so the website is not available or it is under under maintenance. So what is that? That is basically the things are unavailable. So this is what availability problem is. Then the next one is integrity. When we look into the integrity, it means we usually don't want anyone to misuse our data or use the data without our permission. Or make any edits without our permission. That is what the integrity problem is. The third one is confidentiality. Just imagine a situation where someone is reading your WhatsApp messages or emails without your consent. That is what? That is the confidentiality problem. So these three principles guide all cybersecurity practices. Why we need cybersecurity in 2025? Why cybersecurity matters that much? You just have an incidence of the last year where several companies shut down because of ransomware. And we already knew with Professor Migunani, he already told about the ransomware attack, where you can download some of the files or you can download a photo or any link where you click it over and the ransom is spread over your system and the system shut down. So in those things, when I'm talking about the previous year incident, what happens in the many cases? Small businesses had to pay large ransoms because they had no backups. This shows the cyber risk is not limited to the big corporation. It affects everyone. So the world today is more connected than ever. Digital payments, AI tools, cloud storage, or work from anywhere like we are connected right now. That brings convenience, no doubt, but this also increase vulnerabilities. If I give you one more example of vulnerability, so we usually say in security aspects, in the terms of security, when there is a threat surface, the attacker went to that surface and act as a threat actor and then attack that particular surface. And that threat surface is basically in any open port or anything which is accessible to the attacker that cause vulnerability. And the ports are known as vulnerable ports. Looking into the type of threats, we have basically majorly six threats, cyber threats. One is malware, where viruses and where software is designed to cause harm. When we talk about ransomware, it's the most dangerous one, where the whole system, where the whole files of any system can be encrypted and you need to pay some amount, you need to pay some ransom to get those files back. One of the example over here in India, what happened 2 3 years back is there's one hospital that is known as AIMS. It is in Delhi and it's the biggest hospital in India and Delhi is the capital. In that case, what happened? Ransomware attack happened and the complete system crashed and the Indian government need to pay 2.5 million of amount to the hacker to get the files back. And what is there in the file? The data. So the more the data is important, it is more it is possible to have maximum attacks on that data. So this is basically each threat target have different weaknesses. Some target some devices, some target networks, and the other targets human behavior. So just think about one point. How many of you have received a suspicious message of OTP, or you can receive a call that is called smishing or wishing? What you people have done? You receive an immediate call, I'm so and so speaking in the same voice using AI, and they're saying, I'm I'm sorry. They're saying, I'm so and so speaking. I'm your some of your relatives' voice. I'm so and so speaking. My son is in the hospital. I need 2 lakh of bucks, 2,000 bucks in my account to have the procedure of the particular of my son. So I need your help. being my mother or being our elderly older people who are not much aware of these things, what they will say, you will just call one of your son and he say, my brother is saying that there is some emergency and he needs 2 lakh of 2 millions of bucks. You just transfer it, right? Without any without asking any other question, what our elders will do. Okay, parents will do that, right? So what is that? Basically, you are sending an amount to someone else who is not in need. That is an attack. And this kind of attacks, this kind of amount, these thefts are happening all over the world and in the form of millions. They are earning them. They are earning in millions and billions of amount, right? So this is very much important where deceptive communication happen and phishing. That's why I'm saying phishing is of two types: SMS, that is smishing, and wishing, voice. Both you can do, go for anything, right? Then another point come over here is, so we can say that phishing is the easiest and most successful attack method. Attackers send deceptive messages to make you click on a link or download a file or give some information like for KYC and all. And so they can have your account details, they can have your amount in their account, and that cannot be reversed, right? So your hardcore money can be used or it can be theft by someone else. Then comes as another point is social engineering, that is manipulation of your psychology. What happens in that case? It's a very powerful thing. What happens in this? It does not target computer, it targets human. For example, they will say there's an emergency, there's some fear. Okay. For example, what happened last year in India itself, we received a call. In fact, I received a call from someone. He was saying, "I'm from police, and I'm superintendent of police and higher authority in the police, and there is an FIR filed against you. You need to present yourself in the court, and if you don't want to present yourself in the court, you need to pay 2 lakhs to us on a particular number, and now you are in house arrest." And there the digital word house arrest exists nowhere in the country. So because I'm into this field and I know these things are happening, so I was much aware of all these parts. So what I did, I never entertained those schools. And if there's some security numbers where you can inform those particular numbers, I inform that. That's my moral responsibility. Because here I am aware of these things, but many of us are not aware. So we should be very mindful when we are talking about these things, when we are giving our passwords. Then the next point here is password and credentials. This is malware and ransomware, what I talked about. Phishing tactics, these are the spots and signs. Then comes this password and credentials. It is very important part. See, before jumping into it, I just want to tell you few techniques. Number one, always always clear your cache. Don't accept cookies. It should be minimum. If you're going to open some website and they're saying accept all cookies, go to the settings and go for the manage part. Minimum cookies you should accept, which are essential. Don't go for the all the cookies you want to accept, because in cookies itself there are some SQL injections. SQL injections are basically the queries who can fetch your data from all the bookmarks, all the cookies. What are your passwords? What are your credit card details? That can be easily fetched. So you should be aware of cookies. You cannot openly accept all cookies. Number two, you need to clear your cache, which is having all the passwords. Number three, you should, you must, I must say, you must change your password on regular basis. Number four, you should not keep your password same. Rather than saving those passwords in your wallet, in the system, or your mobile, no. Keep a diary, keep a notepad, write down your passwords, write down your IDs. The previous people are much more aware. We are digitized, we are newcomers, yes, but we should be aware, right? So these are the tactics we need to know. Then looking into the password part, don't go for the common passwords. Why? Because if I tell you one example, you must know about Kali. That's an operating system. If you'll check on GitHub, there is one file that is called root file or something password file. So that is there. That is open access is available for all the individuals to go for some this social engineering attacks to perform those attacks, right? So in that particular directory, they're having n number of like 16,000 passwords are given, which are commonly used. For example, ABCD, Kali 1234, Kali @123, 1234, 1234, 56789. So these are the commonly used passwords. Ghost. So if you want to check, you can go, you can move to GitHub and check all these directories. So that are already given, and that is given for the testing phase. Just think a person who is just initiated and who is just started learning the cybersecurity and ethical hacking, and they are trying to exploit your network. And if they are into the network, they are using your this files for the root files for the passwords, and somehow your system is on the same network, and you are also possessing, or you want to you are using your password. The password is a similar one, common password. What they are able to do, they will able to fetch your details. That's true. We have done so many experiments in my training sessions. Also, I have given so many demos on that, in which we are able to fetch the data of the systems who even used our network with the details. What is their operating system? Which window is there? What is their name? Everything. Which network is they are using? What is their IP address? What is their MAC address? So that is the basic one I'm talking about. And if your security shell is open anyhow, if that port is open, we can move into the network, we can move into your system, and we can use your things. Like if we provide access to team viewers, if we are using that software team viewer, what are people can do? If I'm giving access to you that you can use my system, what you will do? You can start exploring my system and having all the details, right? So similar, if your shell is open, without your knowledge, if your system is open, your shell is open, anyone can jump into your network. That can be a vulnerable port attack surface for the attacker. And a hackerist is basically a group of hackers that the person get into it, and the group will start infusing your data. So password is important. Second point is brute force attack. What force attack is saying? We usually, you also know about these things. There are some policies while we are putting some passwords. And what is that? In that, they suggest that you should use alphanumeric characters, you should use numeric numbers, you should use special character, like blah blah blah. Some keywords are given, right? Why? Because if you provide combinations, brute force is an algorithm that helps to decode your password. Strongest is the password. More time consuming will be for brute force to get the password combination, right? So that should be there. Then we are talking about credential stuffing. That is what I have already explained, that what we call it, that cookies and SQL injections are there that can be put into your work, and they can fetch your data. Weak passwords are again most vulnerability is there, most vulnerable things, because that can be guessed. Sometimes you have checked on some websites, it is given, don't write your name as a password, don't write your birth date as a password. So there are few things which combinations are easy to make and get the access of all the things wherever where you have some data. Then comes the network threat. So if earlier I was talking about, if you are in the same network, we are able to get your data. We are able to get your identity. How? Because some tools are there. There's so many tools are there that can be used with with this network part. For example, one of the tool is Metasploit. It's a good tool. It's really a good tool. And another one is your social engineering set toolkit that is available with Kali itself. Once you download it, you have all the tools into it. So there are different tools over there which can help us to identify whosoever is in the network. Like Wireshark is another tool who can fetch the packets traversing from one part to another, right? And that what you will get. You will fetch all the details, all the IDs of your data of whatever you people are using in the network. So how, for example, if I want to check on my this system itself, how many currently, how many hackers or how many IP addresses want to, attack or want to use this particular port. So using Wireshark tool, I can get all the details, what traffic is going on, which traffic is there, what kind of IP addresses are moving, what kind of data I'm using. So every detail you can use Wireshark. So moving into the network threats include man-in-middle attack, fake Wi-Fi hotspots, sniffing, then unsecured networks. For example, public Wi-Fi, airports, cafes, hotels are the biggest danger. Anyone can, anyone on the same network can potentially spy your activity, right? After that, the another point is encryption one. So how can we, secure our data? That's very much important. There is one tool called VeraScript, right? What that is doing. If I want, for example, I'm just giving you an example, that activity I have performed with my students in the class. What I did, I asked my students to create a drive. Like in our system, when we buy a new system, we have C, D, E, and F drives, right? Now I want to create a drive, which is again encrypted one. Whatever data is there, no one can access it, no one can open it, whosoever is attacking, because that is encrypted one. Now, what this encryption is doing? Basically, in this encryption factor, what happens? A text is there. That text is having some, some changes have been made in unreadable form. A person cannot read it. There can be, you can say the substitution method in the school time you have done, or in the logical reasoning you have done, like if I'm writing hello word, and for this hello part, for every letter I'm using third letter of the alphabet. Like for hello, H, 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 K, what comes after H? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, then I, J, K. So because for H I'm using K letter. So what is that? I'm substituting with plus 3 point, right? So that is what this is one of the method that is used for encryption. And there's some algorithm as well, DES, CES, RSA. There's so many things. So I'm just taking about the basic example, right? So what happened? So the text is changed into some other word, which is meaningless for the people, right? So that meaningless word for the people, not for us, that is basically encrypted word. That is what the encryption is doing. So person need to decrypt it. So for that, there are some keys. There is some public key part of there is some private keys are there to encrypt and decrypt it. Then there are some algorithms. Then there are some algorithms which can be used to encrypt the particular data. For example, AES, MD5, SHA, RSA. There are n number of algorithms. So which algorithm you want to use, what kind of things you want to do, that depends on your question, or what actually you want to do. For every algorithm, there is one public key and private key. There are symmetric algorithms and symmetric keys and asymmetric keys. So there is a deep concept over there. So for this part, I can say that encryption is the only thing which can help us to secure data. Definitely, there are some flaws in encryption as well. So what is the next step? What is the next step? If we are working with encryption, and if there is a flaw, what we can do? We can add certificates into this. That is competent authorities there, CAs are there who can attach certificates. Those certificates are digitally signed, so digital signature is there. So for according to the data, the security is enhanced, right? Then looking into the readiness part, we always say uh, for every leader, for every person, whosoever is online, is on internet, he should know about cybersecurity. He should have at least knowledge of these things. For that particular thing, the training should be given to those personas, whether it's a student, whether it's a faculty, whether it's a normal, in the layman language, we used to say normal people outside us, whether it's in a school, whosoever is there on Facebook, Insta, WeChat, or WhatsApp, Telegram, whosoever is on internet, you're not safe. If you are on internet, you are not safe. You must keep in mind the thing that Whatever data you have provided on social media, a person who want to attack you, attack on your data, he is he is more known to you. For example, they have social engineered their content or your details from internet. They must know more about you, what things you are using. For example, if you are, watching some, let's say there is some XYZ Amazon website we are looking into for some kind of shopping, for example, shoes. If I'm selecting some shoes for example, of Skechers, but I don't like it, I just drop the plan, I just moving into the Instagram. What I'm getting those advertisements over there. What is that? It means someone is tracking us. If you are online, you are actually in the tracking path. So it is recommended always that you should be trained. Regular training should be given to the employees so that they can have a habit of they should have a safe digital habit with them. And there should be a plans response team. ISRT should be there. That is a response team. How you can act if there is some attack, how you would react, what is your plan, what is your backup plan. So there are so many things. For example, one of the things is penetration testing. And that penetration testing, what gonna happen? In that penetration testing, a person, a red team and a blue team is there. They try to attack on the surface. A person, try to stop that attack or try to, hold the particular port, close that port so that the rest of the data should be safe. So there are different things in detail if you move. So you know, if if we want to work on these kinds of things, you should have another levels. And then, and I'm very much, I just want to just want to aware you on this aspect. If you are cybersecurity trained, for example, I'm conscious security plus certified, right? And if I'm trained, I'm eligible for so many posts. If you're done with it, if you have practical training, you should be certified with this. Then moving to the real impact, as always already said, 92% of attacks are there and it can be increased. It can be increased and more than 92% attacks are there. But yes, we have another startup idea and people are already using it. That is insurance on on your digital amounts. Insurance on that. So if you're looking for the insurance part, if you're looking for the responsibility, so it's our responsibility. Each one of us is responsible to play a role into it, to have, because if a single careless thing gonna happen, it can compromise the entire system. So what we need to do, we need to go for we need to use password managers. We need to use multi-factor authentication and automatic updates. Yes, that's very much important point. Automatic updates. For example, what we did. We all are using Windows because it's user friendly. Some of you are using Linux, some of you are using Kali system. But what happens in the updates? What is there? Basically, what happens is when a system start, there are some program files. They're using our memory space in the system. Memory is less. So when the space is less, what we do? We used to stop updates. That's a very common practice. So we should not do that. We should use updates. We should regularly update our software, update our Windows, because whatever the patch file is released by the organization, they have some, I'm sorry, they have some their, attack system provision to securing your system from the attacks. If you can check, if you want to check, you can check on SolarWind attack. Microsoft was shut down, and just think a big firm is there who is shutting down. Definitely, we should work on the patch files. If any patch file is released, you need to keep update your system. That that Windows should be updated regularly. That system should be updated. Why? Because whatever system is working, whatever things you are using, definitely the organization is also using. They have identified some attacks. But those attacks, they want to protect you from those attacks. So you should do those things. Last option is you need to take backup of your system. And you can use cloud services for there. You can use any hard disk. But cloud services, again, that is a third party. Then again, there are few factors you need to work on. whether you want the cloud service from the security from the cloud service partner, or you want to hire another security service who can take care of your data, or you in itself gonna take care of that data. So that is again a call to take if you are in if you're leading in any organization, right? So your role is to share the responsibilities, stay vigilant, seek resources, seek assistance if there is something, help others, and get the knowledge of this. Then what's next? Okay, data leaks are there. That is all. Okay. So what vulnerability edges are there? We all are connected to smart homes, mobile devices. We have cameras at home as well, right? If they are not secure, if I'm using my mobile, that is Apple Watch or something is there with me. So what I'm doing, real time tracking is happening, right? If your location is tracking, if everything is like anything can happen if someone gonna breach it. Someone someone get access of your things. Anything can happen. So for these points are vulnerable edges. You should be careful about this. If you're using any camera, it should be secure. If you're using a mobile, you should be aware whether your personal device should not be compromised. If you are using smart home devices like LEDs are there, cameras are there at home, there's so many XYZ things are there. So your network should be strong while you're looking into it. So what are the main pillars into it? That is CI trace, what I have already explained. NIST framework. NIST is a national security technology framework, which actually provides the guidelines how you can use the things, how you can go ahead. Zero trust mechanism. Never trust. Always verify. Whether it's your friend, whether it's your friend's network, you should not trust. You should always verify the details, whatever link you are getting, whatever photograph if you are getting, if that is having anything. So you should have multiple controls over the assets, defense and depth is there. So essential things into it, access controls, data encryption, then MFA is there, antivirus should be there, firewalls to block malicious accesses, then regular patches and updates. For a password to be strong, 12 or 14 plus characters should be there. Use paraphrase, you avoid reuse of the password in the multiple accounts. Use password managers to have your accounts managed by them. Then for the emails, you should not click on the suspicious links. You should verify the website whether it's legitimate or not. It should not contain malware. They should not ask you for some sensitive data, which you should not go for it. But if they are asking, so you should be, bit active in your mind. You should be mindful. You should not give anything without complete verification. Then, for example, if I'm working on, see, we are an organization. We usually share, we usually not share our ID passwords with other people, and we should recognize fake profiles. One of the incidents I remember on the Instagram, one of my friend's account was hacked, and I received a message that Ravneet, I need $5,000 in my account. I'm in very much emergency. Could you please share? Could you please send me on this particular number? So I didn't reply. Best option is not to reply. Though I called him up and asked what is going on, why are you asking for the money? And she said, no, I didn't. So what happened? This same happened with WhatsApp. I already faced these things. The same happened with Insta. So you should be careful because you people are on internet and using social media. These descriptions we have already given. Software updates need to be there. Definitely update using patch files. Device encryption, secure backups, remote Wi-Fi should not be used. Avoid public Wi-Fis. Then organization maintain cyber hygiene. What need to be done? Being into the business, what you need to do? There should be training of all the interns, whosoever is employer. Whosoever employee is there, he should be trained about cybersecurity. There should be IRT team, that is incident response team. They must have a clear plan. They must have a clear strategy, what they need to do if there is some attack, right? Regular audits should be there. That can be done using penetration teams. You can work with like red team, blue team, things should be there. Then data classification and encryption, which data is sensitive, that should be segregated. Then, if you are providing any service or you are using any service of the third party, security practices should be checked. This is done with my presentation. I'm really thankful for this kind of audience who are actually listening. And I must say in the conclusion that cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. No tool or software can protect you if you do not practice safe habits. A single careless click can open the doors of major breach. Be safe. That's the thing what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Ravneet. And we have some question from participant. For first question, could you please explain how cybersecurity principle differ when protecting personal data versus organizational or governmental data? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. So, if we are talking about the cybersecurity principles, you must be aware of three pillars. That is CIA. That should be there: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. When you're talking about confidentiality, you should check if you're talking about personal data. When if I'm talking about personal data, it means I'm talking about my pictures, my photographs, my videos, or some my bank statements, my ID password. So this is my personal data. If I'm correct, if I'm answering the right way, right? So this is my sensitive information. So you should know what is the best part of that, like whatever I've already explained this point, that there are so many, you should aware of some hotspots, you should aware of some newses, currently what's going on. So awareness is the must, awareness is must. Don't click any link, don't download any photograph. And for your Insta or social media accounts or your photographs, if you are using Google Photos even to save the things on Drive, you should be aware that things should not be linked with any other part. So what I used to do is when I'm talking about my research articles, that's another ID with that is holding. If I'm talking about my photographs, then I'm having another ID. So that's the best part. You should not mix the things. So that's the one point. Another one is, I must say, be aware. Don't click on any link. That's the point. Then comes into the protection of the data that I already explained. There is some tool called VeraCrypt and VerboScript, like those things. What you can do is you can use those things. You can encrypt your data in a particular folder and encrypt that folder itself. So if attack gonna happen, no one can decrypt that, right? Another point you can do is if you don't want to encrypt or decrypt, you can use another technology. For example, hashing you can use, you can put digital signatures. You need to work on those things. These are very small parts, but the experiments are long, lengthy one to go ahead with. And for looking into the organizational government data, there are some ICRT teams are always there with the organization. The response team, IT teams are there. They are working on these things in your department itself. You can check with the IT heads. There are particular server room because when I'm talking about the security of an organization, I'm talking about the physical security. I'm talking about the data security. Both things are there. If I'm talking about the physical security, we are talking about the servers, right? Where the servers laid. Definitely, you are not allowed to check it. And another point is you can, with the physical part, you can give symbols or you can put camera so that you can play with the psychology of a person. If you move inside this, that will be recorded in the camera and you can be fined for something, right? So this is one point for the physical part. And there are ICRT teams are there who can go for the regular audits, who can check their network regularly. Proactively, everything is under supervision if the thing is associated with any organization, whether it's a government or whether it's a private organization. But yes, there is one attack called zero-day attack. That always happens when no one knows it. Zero-day attack means itself that it can happen anytime. And for that, there are some teams are there who store the data as a backup. So the backup is also not stored in the same place. That depends in which firm you are. If it's a big organization, the data is some at some other place. And if it's a small organization, there should be some backup in the cloud part. So there are different parts. So you should be, that's why I was given example of small firms because they are not much aware of these things that any attack going to happen to their systems. But yes, that is happening. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation and your answer. I guess no one else asking again, ma'am. Okay,
Thank you.
and yeah, and we will go to the next speaker for Mr. Sad. Sakthipriyaa as an Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology. The time is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm just sharing my screen. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm audible and visible, right, for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So good afternoon to everyone. So I was just joining from the different part of the world. So I'm Sakthipriyaa from Dr. Umaya Ramanathan College for Women India. So I'm just honored to present my second webinar here with the STEKOM University. So the today topic is the cybersecurity, the safeguarding the information in a connected world. So in the next 30 minutes, I will walk you through the fundamentals of the cybersecurity, the growing challenges, and also the global statistics and also the trends, and most importantly, the practical way how we can protect our data and information both at the individual as well as the organization level. Yeah. So my session is structured into the way like what is the cybersecurity and why we need to protect the information and what happens if we fail it, and also the basic pillar like CIA, and also the what are the essentials, and then I have to give a deep dive about the what is the phishing technologies and what will be the current statistics and trends, and some similar case studies, and what are the essential way to protect our and safeguard our information. So this is a combination of the fundamental knowledge, real attacks, also some practical defenses, which will give you the complete understanding of today's cyber landscape. By the end of the session, you will have a holistic understanding of the modern cyber threats as well as the practical defenses. So, what is the cyber security? So, imagine in your home, your doors are locked, and also you have a closed window. So, they say we can secure the important document, right? So, now imagine the home with invisible doors and windows. So, the anyone from anywhere in the world can easily enter, and we can unlock the data. So, similarly, this is what happened in the digital world look like. So, cyber security is a lock, the alarm system, and the safeguard. So it is an essential practice of protecting our digital world, our system, our network, and data from the unauthorized access or malicious attacks. So as per the dependence on the technology grows, the cybersecurity becomes the foundation of the enabled trust, safe communication, as well as the business continuity. So whether we have realized this or not, so every digital action, like even like we are sending the email, making a UPI payment, or else we can upload some files. So the security will be there for the security in the background that should be needed for the safety purposes. So without cyber security, the digital infrastructure, what we are related today, that cannot be safe in the future. So why we need to safeguard the information? So the information is not just the data, it is about our identity and reputation and our financial thing. So today attackers is they are not only the building, they are just breaking into the buildings. They are breaking into our accounts, inboxes, cloud system, even they are even our mobile devices also. So the protecting the information is very important because it's like kind of the identity theft, financial loss, and even the privacy breaches also. So even when that may causes to the complete shutdown of the business. So globally now we can be everyone are realizing that we have to protect the data because it is also impact of like for an global company trust also as well as the individual regulations. So what we have, what if happen we cannot have a safety safeguard our information. So some people may think that we have a data in our mobile. So what will happen? So similarly, so that will happen if the data is not secure. So because the information is not secure, then obviously the consequences also be similar. We see the identity theft, also the ransom attack, also the fraud transaction, and also the data leak. Even if the organization also faces the operation downtime with the cost of millions and trillions based on the regularity fines if the violences have been avoided. Most importantly, the once the data is leaked, we cannot be taken back, and the damages can be like long term, and sometimes it cannot be irreversible also. And also, previous speakers, they also talk about this core element of cybersecurity, that is CIA. So the confidentiality. So it is just ensuring the information that is accessed only by the authorized people. And second one is the integrity that ensures or guarantee the data that remains accurate and unaltered. And third one is availability. So ensure the information whether it can be accessed when needed. So any security strategy, technology, or policy that we need to involve based on the terms and regulations based on the above principle, we can also have the cybersecurity principle. I just want to give a one small example here about how this CIA is working on our regular life. So we are just making on a UPI payment or online payment. So where the banking that confidentiality protects our account, and our integrity ensures our balance is correct, or how much payment we are sending to them, make sure it is correct, and the availability that guarantees either the bank or website that should be available for a 24 by 7. So these are the basic things the CA has been working accordingly. So what will be the major essential of the cyber security? The thing is like multiple thing is there. So I'm just addressing what will be the common terms that have been addressing. So the one is like identity and access control. So that ensures only the valid users can use as a system. And another one is the MFA, that is a multi-factor authentication. So that adds the extra layer to our security so that we can have like the data to be protected more efficient way. And next one is a secure configuration. So it prevents a weak or default setting from becoming vulnerabilities. And fourth one is a device and network protection. So it ensures all the data should be updated and also the kind of hardened. And another one is a data encryption that makes the information should be like unreadable and unauthorized to the several third or fourth parties. And third one, final one is a backup and recovery. So it safeguard in the use of ransomware or sometimes of system failure, even if the kind of you used to transfer the data from one material to another. This kind of backup and recovery that can be useful. And another finally is employee awareness. So it is a most crucial factor because a human error is also plays a major role in the cyber attack or as a cyber crime. So that also be the major thing. So why we need to give an importance to the information system security? So we live in the data, and just the last few years we have been living in a data driven world, and business make the decision based on the data. Even government operate on the data. So individual maintain every data through their digital identity. So the attackers stock us the information because it can be sold and misused, even manipulated for their profit. So now the data has become a new currency, and it's protecting equivalent to the protecting of wealth, identity, and trust. So the data drives everything, even for the business decision, customer experience, and government function, even for the social media algorithm. So the attackers knows that, and they know their target because it is more vulnerable than the golden today, because the information is the new currency today. Yeah. So for example, we can make it like a taking of Facebook. It earns a billions from the user data, how much we can be working on the data. This shows the how valuable the information is. Just think if the attackers got all the information and they can make a same value that should be in an illegal way. So that is the data is the most important thing, and we need to should protect accordingly. So I just want to give a one of the deep dive to the one of the most common and dangerous cyber threat today is happening in everywhere. That is a phishing attack. So the phishing is currently the most common cyber attack we all know. It is not a technical attack. Actually, it is called as a psychological attack. I just want to give a one short story about it. We also heard about the people of getting a fake job offers in LinkedIn, like the kind of getting the convincing email from the HR, and many then they send their passport and certificate, and attackers might just use them. So this is called as phishing. It's happening in the everywhere. So it is used as a social engineering, that is a tricking the people into the revealing their sensitive information like password, OTP, bank details, or personal data. It usually is arrays like email, SMS, phone call, even a social media messages, or even offers. So what make a phishing dangerous here? It doesn't attack the system, it attack the human behavior. So why it is so successful? Because it is works a low cost, but the result is high effective, and the psychological design to manipulate the trust. So attackers minimize the real companies and create the believable messages, and also the crafting some convincing stories so that we can able to anything what they want. So this exploit, I think this can exploit our main emotions such as a fear, urgency, curiosity, or even a trust or in the authenticity, so that the message should look like more real, so that people can act before any verifying it. So how it is working actually? So it is a flow of process. Like the first, they can find the what will be the target. It should be either the individual or the organization. So they can create a fake messages or a website depending upon their target. So then they will deliver the email, SMS, or WhatsApp or social media things. So based on their concern, they are working on it. The once the user clicks or reopen the attach, or as the attackers steals the credential just by installing the malware and take out what are the details they wanted accordingly. It is a simple chain but extremely effective. So the phishing is also the multiple types are there. It is not just only a email. We can also having the bulk phishing, spear phishing that is target only the specific individual, and also the CEO or business email compromise, and also the smishing that is a SMS based, and phishing that is based on voicemail, and clone phishing, and then emerging that is a QR phishing that is also known as, and we have been seeing in the nearby places, no, with the help of the QR thing. So the attackers are continually innovating the various kind of the digital behavior, so that we need to be safe on each and everything. Yeah, so what is the psychology behavior? So actually, the physical phishing attacks has been work so what can I say? It is so well because they are just exploiting the human physiology. The messages that can create the urgency, no, like the kind of your account will be blocked. Then may uses authority like HR request or bank notice, and some curiosity like no, we own a price or is a payment received, and that may spoil our routine behavior just by clicking it without the thinking. So understanding these triggers help the individual to respond more cautiously. So it is success. Actually, the phishing technology is success not only because of the weak technology, but is based on most of human emotions. So the attackers exploit urgency, trust, curiosity, and fears. For example, I can say is no, we can just saying your salary update is pending. Just log in now. So we will just immediately click the link just sending the without checking the username or email, because we have a trust in the HR or as well as the company. So based on that, this will happen. So this is not about the weak technology. It is they are just playing with the human emotions. So there was so much of red flag in the phishing. So the first one is, although we know that the attackers are sophisticated, the messages are often contain the red flag, such as the unknown. We can notice like that kind of unknown centers, unexpected attachment, urgent languages, grammatical errors, mismatched URL, and also the request for OTP and fraud. These are the common warning signals that can be a request for the personal details. So if something feels off, just pass, verify, and then act, because these are the common red flags, or else we can see it like people or attackers, they just need only these kinds of details. So based on that, we just need to pass, verify, and then act accordingly. Yeah. So the phishing is it's not only just it's emerging here. So it has been happened, become past, present, and future. Just I want to give it briefly about the what will be the current trends is there. So before 2015, we can say it like before COVID or something, the phishing can be easy to detect because the scammers were poorly written, and mostly they just targeted using the banking sector. So many early phishing email were so obvious, like we can just find it by incorrect logos or bad label. Even we can just see and laugh them like what kind of the grammatical sentence are there. But nowadays the attackers has improved dramatically. So because they are not focused on banking users, and they just working on about the online payment platforms, so that the message were often poorly written, making the easier them to avoid, and also the awareness was low, which allowed the earliest attack to success easily. And what will be the present tense? So between the 2016 to 2025, phishing exploited the more dominant the cyber attack in the world. More than 90% of the people has started to having a cyber attacks. So attackers now use AI generated emails, making them the flawless and highly convincing. And phishing is not more than limited to the email. Now it's everywhere is there, like WhatsApp, email, SMS, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even the fake job offers, and also some fraud website. So the organization lose billions of worldwide because of stolen credentials and used to bake into the system. The goal of the modern phishing is very simple: steal password, OTP, and MFA codes. That is a multi-factor authentication. So this is what the current phishing is working on that. So what will be the future? Because nowadays what we are facing is similar to the future. Then what will be the future we are just going to have it? So it is full of AI. We know that we are just entering into the era of a hyper personalized phishing. So that is where AI can automate everything, like it will customize phishing messages based on individual online and behavior, deep fake voices, even the fake video calls also we can expect or from the family members. And also we have already seen the QR phishing scam is about to emerge. So that will rapidly increase, that may lead to the cashless and contactless system grow. And also the cloud account, digital wallet, remote workers also may be the targets. The cyber security spending in both in the worldwide is expected to grow by 20 to 35% of the seriousness in the coming years. And we are just expecting the organization will shift to zero trust security. That is, trust nothing, verify everything. So we don't want to trust anything we can see in the online. Even it's just buying something, a small thing, to buying the large thing, we need to verify everything before we just click anything. So the some prediction story what I just go through while just making this PPT is no. Soon the attackers may send the voice messages like sound like exactly to our family members or our boss. Just imagine like how we can get a call from our manager just for asking for the urgent document, or else just to make some salary kind of thing. No, then the future will be a cybercrime. So everything we can't trust any voices or nothing. Just we need to trust everything because we have seen some of the red flags is here. No, that will be the basic thing we need to find everything. So we are just seeing no, like what will be the impact of the phishing, because phishing is day by day is become everywhere. So what will be the impact? So as an individual, there will be the result in identified theft, financial loss, and permanent account compromise. And for the organization, definitely there will be data breaches and ransom interpretation, and also the reputation damages, and also the some legal penalties. So the single click has a power to disrupt any system, even for the individuals as well as the organization. Yeah. So while going through this, I just saw one case study where the Twitter had 2020 attack. So that is the main thing. So I just want to explain in a short thing. So one of the most famous real world example is the Twitter 2020 incident. So attackers just uses spear phishing, that is to target the employees and gain the access of the internal admin tools. They took over the control of 130 verified accounts, including the major public figures. So they just posted a fraud messages according to the asking for the cryptocurrency according across the globals. So this incident has a major thing happen everywhere, and is also become a world's because companies has become like human behavior is kind of exploit. So what is the lesson learned from here? So the Twitter causes teaches a critical lessons that we should be protect our account with MFA. There is a multi-factor authentication. Next, whatever the employees or individual that needs to be trained before using any account or system, and also the continuous monitoring the incident, because everything is not made it on a single day. The plan should be there, no. So the response plans are essential so that we need to work on the things repeatedly, and most importantly, we also need to develop a zero trust model, as we everyone have been discussed. It is a zero trust. Simply never trust, always verifies to reduce the chance of internal misuse. So it has happened for everyone. Yeah. So these are the things we have been previously discussed, like about what is cybersecurity and what will be the things, what will be the current cyber crime that everywhere we are facing is phishing that we have discussed. And the final thing is about how we need to safeguard the information. That is an important thing. But before the two speakers, we have been speak with them. So the protecting information is not about the technical cost. It is just the behavioral and also the individual responsibility. I'm just telling some of the practice that even like everyone we can just easy to follow. The first one is like using a strong and unique password and always enable multi-factor authentication. So that is the thing. And also follow the privilege access, that is give a minimum access and remove all the unused data. And next one is encrypt sensitive both data while we are sending it, and use only approved platform for file sharing as well as the communication. And also we need to maintain 3-2-1 backup, that is 3 copies, 2 mediums, and 1 offsite. And also we need to update our device and apps regularly, because the outdated apps also it will be a major risk. Next, we need to use a VPN and strictly avoid a usage of Wi-Fi in the publics for just to avoid for sensitive tasks. So we need to always verify the sender as well as the receiver identify before click or share anything with them. And we need to review the app's permission regularly. We just give permission to everything. We just wait for just 5 seconds. So just to check what are the permission they are just asking, and if there is anything suspicious, we can remove it immediately. Next, always based on security alerts for login as well as a financial transaction. If you are doing the financial transaction, just working on like for couple of times security post on that. We just working on that. And the final thing is we need to report everything, anything suspicious happen immediately, because early reporting we can prevent some major damage. So this is a basic thing how we can safeguard our information as an individual as well as the organization type. So these are the takeaways or the quick review of the session. So before I just want to conclude, there's some important points I just need to remember againly. So because the information is the most valuable and asset data in the digital world, and the one of the major threatening is going on is like a phishing. It's not only going for the individual as well as the organization globally. So the cyber security is just require the combination of people, process, and technology, because every individual has to play a major role in the awareness for the first line of the defense here. So if we stay alert and stay informed and stay secure, we reduce the risk of becoming the victims, and we can also help the nearby or my families to just to suffer from being their victims. Yeah. So thank you so much for this opportunity and time and engagement. I hope this session has given you the clarity, awareness, and confidence just to navigate to have a digital world more safely. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sakti. And we have one question from participant.
Okay.
Yeah, for our first question, what essential security practices should every student implement to protect their identity and data in a connect world? Thank you.
Yeah. So the what is the security practices is just as we discussed in the seminar, like just we need to enable the two-factor or multiple factor authentication before we just avoid any theft. And also, as we our previous speaker also discussed, we need to maintain the data everything, because the physical data is there and also the finance data is there, also the work data is there. We need to make it separated things. So before we need to share anything, or if we just do anything, just we need to click whether we have been sending it to the correct person or not, or we just need to protect our finance data with proper report or something, so that we can avoid this protect our identity. So that's the thing to the in the connection world.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I got
Thank
no
you.
one
Thank you
else
so much for the
stating it.
opportunity.
Mm. Yeah, okay, before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three for the documentation. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, another one. One, two, three. Thank you for your cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of webinar today. We would like to thank you for all speakers for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future. The webinar for today and yeah, hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day.